You're listening to The Angry Designer, where we cut through the industry bull to help frustrated graphic designers survive and thrive.
Get it already! Woo-hoo. Happy hello, Sean!
Hello, Massimo!
What's going on, Sean?
Not a whole lot.
Wait, why do we say that? Because it's not like I haven't talked to you today.
I know. It's
All
funny, right?
But we pretend like, well, hello, sir.
Well, we don't. It's not like. I guess we should clarify. We don't really talk to each other all the time.
Yeah, okay,
right?
fair enough.
Yeah.
We're kind of working during the day. But
Yes,
there's a lot of breaks.
There are breaks, yeah, and there's movie talk and things like that, and
Yeah.
diet talk and egg talk.
Oh, that's a hard one for me lately.
Oh.
I know. This
feel
is
your
going to be
pain.
my last little scotch for a little bit.
Oh,
So
well,
that's why I thought I'd bring something in special just for you,
Yes.
right? Sherry cask,
Scotch.
right? Salute to this one.
well, this is a sherry cask.
right. That's why it looks like this. Yeah. See, sherry cask finish.
okay.
What do you think?
Oh, dude,
I know it's very delicious, isn't it?
that's really.
It is
good.
really nice scotch. So yeah. Can you feel that?
Oh, that's
I know.
nice.
It is.
It
Good.
gave me goosebumps. That's so good. Oh,
Yeah. So scotch comes from Scotland.
I think so. I think that's how that works, right?
I believe so.
It's regional, like champagne is.
Like champagne
'Cause you can't.
is.
Because
and-
what is that called when it's not from champagne?
Oh, it's like sparkling wine.
Sparkling,
isn't it?
right.
Sparkling wine. Things I'm not gonna drink sparkling wine. Well, I'm not gonna drink champagne either. I'm not like I don't have that kind of life where I can toast every day. Although we should toast every day to champagne, right? Every day should be a toast to champain.
Have you ever had Dom Perignon?
No,
Oh, you haven't.
No,
Okay.
I have
I haven't either. So
no, I'm not that fancy.
I just kind of wondered what an expensive champagne would be.
It's all brand. It's good branding behind it.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm sure. Well, I mean, obviously, it must have something to do with the brand and the history behind it.
Right. Yeah. That's interesting. I think it's funny how that would just. I guess.
Premium liquor, I'm assuming is the same thing. Okay,
Yeah.
unless it's like aged for like forever years.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And again, what we're always on about is the experience that it goes into
To
it.
go
right?
into it,
There's a lot of time these guys have crafted this, have honed this craft.
This craft.
Yeah. So
So speaking of champagne, local company here
Oh,
in good old Waterloo, good old
Yes.
Waterloo Tech Company,
Waterloo.
Magnet Forensics.
Ooh.
They've been at it for a good 13 years, 12 years. Unfortunately, not a client of ours.
Yes, too
which is
bad.
too bad. But you know what? I know the head of brand there, and it's like I never wanted to push. You got that good relationship, and I'm not sleazy like that, right? But I mean, after a fuckload of hard work and growth and awesome vision, they just sold for $1.8 billion. Okay, the 3 comma club. Okay,
Wow,
If you
the
know
three.
a good tip of the hat to
Yes,
Silicon
Silicon Valley.
there.
Oh,
the
nice.
3 comma club, and that's here. That is as far as I know that the biggest acquisition of any company in this
region.
Wow, fucking incredible.
That's huge.
And it's just like I don't think I have it in me to get ever to anything even close to that. It's so far. But the cool thing is, we do get to work with billion-dollar brands.
Yes. This is true.
I think so. It's the closest thing, and I mean we've worked with companies that have been acquired, and it's cool to be part of that journey. But wow,
Yeah. Yeah. That's a big. That's a big
that's
deal.
a huge payout,
That's a
right?
lot of money.
I know, and the funny thing is, 95% of the company shares were between 3 of them, the 2 owners, and I believe the first investor, unless he was a silent partner, which maybe he could have been, right? He actually did something well after BlackBerry, right? Good old Balsillie.
Balsillie, that's right.
Right?
That's
Instead of trying to buy a hockey team, he went and invested. Maybe he's going to go back and try to get that hockey team. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's right. He was trying to do that really hard there for
right?
quite some time. Poor guy couldn't get anything.
Fucking
any traction.
Canadians,
Yeah.
right? They start up a tech company and then they try to go buy a hockey team.
Oh, how cliche.
Oh, that's amazing. Good on him. Well, maybe now he can, because I'm sure he made more money on this than he did on BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Right?
think
Isn't
so.
that crazy?
Yeah. Wow. That's insane.
Yeah, it is insane.
Well, good for them. I think that's a huge win there's going to be a lot of champagne.
Oh, see, good,
being
good,
drunk
good.
there.
Well,
Yeah.
they'll be drinking
Some Dom-
champagne over there. Yeah, you're
That's right. Some Dom Perignon.
It is cool though when you get to work with these kinds of companies.
Yes.
And I think that's this, kind of a weird segue into what we want to kind of talk about today. Like, although we're not that company, right? And we're not directly a part of that company, what we do affects the companies that we work with. So that is kind of the cool thing about the space that we play in, of course, is because we get to experience so many different things, help contribute to, be, part of this kind of whole experience. There's a lot of goods being in our space, right? To get there, of course, a lot of bads that we have to put up with, right? And go through. And at the end of it all, there's often an ugly truth of what the fuck really happened. So that's what we're here to talk about today. The good, the bad, and the uglies of being a graphic designer.
Cue the music.
But however, neither one of us are nearly as cool as young Clint Eastwood.
That's
let me tell you.
right.
Damn, that guy was so badass.
Oh, he was so badass in that movie.
Yeah,
Oh my
he
God.
was, right?
Yeah.
So before we get too far into this one, though, I just want to welcome everybody to the Angry Designer Podcast. This one's going to be quick and easy. Nothing's ever quick and easy with us. and literally, before we get too deep into this, don't forget to share us with people that you love or hate, and please don't be scared to leave us a review.
Yeah.
I know I sound like a broken wheel on this one, but damn, we do better with reviews. Our podcast goes out further.
Yep.
We're getting some of the highest numbers for listeners.
Wow.
I know it's fucking great, and it's just because we have such awesome angry designers that listen to us on a weekly basis. I don't know why, but I am very thankful that they do.
Oh, me too. Oh my God. Like this is so bizarre. It just, it's great. Like you send me every once in a while, Moss will forward me these awesome comments from you guys. And I'm just like, oh my God.
We make a difference. We help. It is kind of cool, right?
But it is kind of cool because it's like they talk about our camaraderie, the way we talk back and forth. And I was like, yes, that's good because we've got a good.
You think?
Yeah, I think
I'm
so.
glad, Shimon. I thought it was a one way. Aw. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. No,
It is kind of fun.
It's nice. It's nice that people recognize that.
Yeah, we just
and that
hang.
goes with years of
Torture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, years of being up in each other's grill.
On a regular basis. And because of that, I know you're gonna basically recognize every single fucking thing.
Okay,
I'm gonna talk about
I'm
this
flying
list, okay?
blind here.
So yeah, Sean's completely flying by. I was like, dude, you know what? I'm not even gonna give him a hint of what we're talking about, okay? But we got 20 points here.
Yes.
Of the good things, the bad things, and then the ugly truth of being a graphic designer, okay?
Well, I love it.
So this one's nice. Let's start off nice and easy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
A good thing about being a graphic designer.
A good thing.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a creative outlet. Okay. So, it allows designers to be creative and express themselves through work, on a daily basis. It's fucking awesome.
It is the best.
Right?
It is the best.
There's nothing else that you can say, that you come to work and you draw and you express your freedom, you express your creativity or however you want to do it.
Yes.
It's it's almost too good to be true.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The
Yep.
bad,
Yep.
creativity is subjective. so, unfortunately,
Oh shit! Right.
what you're putting out there isn't necessarily always come back with that same amount of appreciation. That's
true.
So the ugly part
Yes.
of this,
Yeah.
of course, all right,
Right.
is we have to remember more than anything that being a graphic designer or owning a graphic design studio, okay, it's a business. It's not art.
Nope.
Okay. So although, creative inspiration and creative outlets are fantastic and we get to do that on a regular basis, we can't take it too personal because again, this is still a business. And that's what makes this, changes it from being a hobby.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is true. But I mean, the things we've learned over the years is like, when you can let loose creatively.
Absolutely.
In certain areas, you can get away with that sort of thing. In other things, you have to do, you're kind of inside of a little bit of a box.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
And it's okay.
But you can still work within that box if you're good.
Dude,
right?
I see some of the shit, some of the people that follow us, and
Yes.
looking at what they do on a regular basis, I find it hard to think that that's a job.
Yes.
Or it's
Yes.
not a creative outlet.
Yes.
This is an amazing opportunity for a
Big
lot of
time.
people. You can't tell me being an accountant has a creative aspect to it, okay? It's a creative outlet. And if it is,
Yeah.
well, you can sure the IRA is going to be on those guys pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So if your accountant ever refers to his line of work as his creative outlet, switch accountants. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, you don't want a creative accountant. That's for sure.
Okay, number two. A good about being a graphic designer.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone is always excited to see what you have to show them.
Oh, yes.
And isn't that the truth?
Yes.
You are usually the person that's greeted with smiles, handshakes. They sit you down.
Yep.
Everybody's just kind of, it's like a big show and tell
Waiting,
moment.
yeah.
And right?
Yes.
There's something good about that,
Yeah,
right? That feels
totally.
good.
Totally.
The bad is it's often followed with some pretty stiff criticism on what it is that you have to show, right?
This is true.
Like, I mean, it's just like, it's like all of a sudden you kind of go like this, dun da da da. It's like the price is right
The
when
price
you lose.
is right, exactly. Yeah, back to your seat. Oh, no.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming today. The ugly part about this, the ugly truth, though, okay, is although that happens and there's stiff criticism, right? The ugly truth is you have to make sure that you never ever take it personal.
Right.
Okay.
Yep,
You
yep.
can't take it personal because it is a job.
Yeah.
Okay. And you always have to try to approach this from a logical sense, not from a personal or for an opinion sense. We say this all the time.
Yeah.
Right. When you're creating work, when you're showing work, make sure it's not led by just your personal opinions or
Right.
your feelings. Make sure they're always based on either experience
Right.
or logic.
Yeah.
Right. Because then this way, it's like it's harder, number one, for them to criticize. And when they do, often it's just the criticism is just because they feel like they have to criticize, not because, it's actually coming from a legitimate place.
Yeah.
Man, some of the criticisms that we get on stuff, I think it's just stupid. It's just like, they feel like they have to say something.
Yes.
So they say the most asinine things. And I mean, you nod.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, and we've experienced people like that where they're a fresh hire. They're really trying to cut their teeth and make them look like they're really doing something. So they're extra nitpicky on stuff, and you're just
it's ridiculous.
like,
Yeah.
I think you're reaching here
It's
on
okay,
this.
that's right.
Yeah. But again, you grin and bear it because
The best criticism is those when they don't even criticize. They're just they put a question out there. I wonder if this is the best thing or way to approach this. And it's quiet. They don't say anything.
Yeah.
And they don't want you to act on anything. And then when you come back with revisions, like, well, wait, though, you never addressed my question. It was like, more of a statement. You didn't actually tell you to do anything. It was just a blanket statement. What am I supposed to do with that?
Yes, exactly.
I just flat out ignore this.
I know.
If you don't give me something constructive, give me constructive criticism,
Yes.
or don't say anything at all.
Yes. My favorite mantra was back in the old days was like, help me help you. Right? Like, you give me something to work with here, please. And I can do it. I know I can.
Sean's self-help commercial.
Yeah, that's right.
Help me.
Help me help
You.
you.
All right.
Yes.
Number 3. Good. We have highly coveted skills.
Oh,
Right? People, they look to designers, they look to graphic designers, they try to replicate what we do, okay? If it's not by technology or this, they even had created this whole fucking thing called design thinking to help non-designers try to solve problems like a designer would.
Yes.
I mean, you could just go hire a fucking designer to do it.
Exactly.
But it's like, no, we're going to play designer today, guys. Come together and we're going to have this other person who's also not a designer lead this session so we can all pretend to be designers.
Oh, boy.
So
oh, boy.
it is highly coveted skills.
Yes.
And I think everybody kind of, wishes they could do this.
How many
okay?
times have you seen people in in paint or whatever, and
Oh, jeez.
trying to do something,
Right?
or you hand something off to somebody and then they come back with it and like they've done their creative their creative
version of
their
it.
tweaks to it, and you're just like,
guys.
yeesh.
Thanks.
And then they kind of like they give up. They're like, oh, okay, well, you guys do it then.
Well, and that's
You know what you're
exactly it. So the good is we have highly coveted skills.
Yes, that's right.
The bad is that everybody thinks that they can have them as well.
Oh, there we go. Oh, see?
Everybody thinks
Okay.
they're a fucking designer.
Everybody thinks they're a designer.
Right?
Yes.
So few design. Everybody fucking thinks they're a designer. But, the ugly truth is, unfortunately, it's not going to stop these people from trying.
You're right.
And that's the sad part about this. So
Yes.
this is where you almost have to rise above it and just treat them like your children.
Yep.
Just be like, oh, good
Yeah,
job, good job.
nice. So put this on the
Anyway,
fridge.
okay, good. And that's the truth.
Yes.
You can't dismiss them completely because
No.
that makes you a jerk.
Yeah, you don't want to be a dick.
Right. And if there is some nugget there that you can use and compliment them on it and feed this dream that they aspire to have, sure. Right. But again, the reality is it's not going to stop them from trying.
Yes.
So acknowledge it, but move on.
Yes.
Doesn't mean you have to do it.
Yep.
But acknowledge it.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
All right.
And a lot of times, every once in a while you get like I'll get a PowerPoint deck that comes in that's pretty good
Yeah, I
from
agree.
somebody. You know what I
agree.
mean? Like you're
Yep.
just like, yeah, they were on the right track.
But you know what's pretty good?
What's that?
Because we set up all the PowerPoint templates for them to
Yes,
follow.
exactly.
Right? And so they just follow the template, and those are the good ones.
Yes, that's true.
What about the ones that come through when they don't
with
follow
there's
that?
no template? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sheesh, those are awful.
All right, number 4.
Okay.
The good thing. Okay, the good. Clients look to you for creative direction. Again, that's pretty cool. That's
Yep.
like a tip to, what we can do. And it's like, I need your help. They compliment you on this. You're the creative vision. I need your creativity for this.
Yep.
The bad, they often reject your creative vision. They pump you up only to turn around and reject everything you
nope.
get. Oh, not
else you got?
quite. What else you got? Oh shit. The
Yeah.
ugly, ugly truth of this whole part,
Yeah.
okay, is that they are the client
Yeah.
and that what you are doing in the end, at the end of the day, is their work.
their
It's
work.
for them.
Right.
You can hold on to it. You can put clauses in some sort of contract, but the reality is they're hiring you for something.
Yep.
Hand that fucking thing over in the end, right? And realize it's a job and it's for them in the end. It's not exciting to say that. It's not you can so many people trying to fight this reality.
Yes, there is a lot of that.
There's a lot of that, but the reality is they're hiring you for your creative vision, your expertise, your ability. That's what they're hiring you for.
Yep.
And although, they may not like always every vision or idea or creative thought you have,
Yeah.
ultimately you will help them get to that problem.
Yeah.
But it's their problem and they're hiring you to solve this problem.
this problem.
Hand that fucking shit over.
Exactly.
And that's the reality of it. So you're going to have to go through all that shit before you're able to, give them what it is that they're looking
This
for.
is true, yeah. And a lot of times you do kind of roundabout solve their problems, but not the way you think. Like sometimes you could do better. You could do better, but the client just doesn't give you that opportunity to do that, right?
Agreed.
And it's
100%.
very sad because you're just like,
Just
trust
let
me.
me.
Trust me with this.
You know how many times I've tried to hand off a mascot to a customer and
Yes.
they just
They
don't.
just won't.
Tech and
Yeah.
mascots,
Yeah.
they just don't. That world,
I
they
know.
don't. They're so scared.
Exactly, but there's such a huge thing to be tapped into with this.
I know.
Like you could totally do
right?
this
You could
stuff.
totally rock this. stuff.
Yes.
All right. So
Okay.
so that's number 4. Number 5.
Yep.
The good about being a graphic designer. You are constantly learning.
Oh,
Right? You're
Yes.
learning new technology, you're learning new design trends, new techniques, okay? Everything's constantly evolving and the good designers are constantly evolving with it. And so with that, you're just growing and growing and growing. I love that.
yes.
The
That's
bad
best.
is that you're constantly learning. Okay? It's like if you think there's a place you can have a break or you can take a sabbatical for you're going to come back and next thing you know, Adobe and Photoshop have merged to create some sort of weird other thing called Adobe Vision. Like shit happens so fast that it changes in the blink of an eye, not to
Yes.
mention the design trends
Oh
that
my
come and go in
God.
between.
Yes.
So although this is an amazing thing, it's also real pain in the ass about the space, right? The ugly truth
Yeah.
it's fucking tiresome.
Yeah.
It is. It can
is.
get so tired.
Yes.
To constantly be keeping up with all this, right? But ultimately, it is rewarding.
Yes.
So it's tiresome, but it's rewarding.
But it is rewarding,
Okay.
yeah.
It's just like anything out there, right? You want to stay good with your job, you got to keep up with that shit, right?
Yes.
Unless you're Joe who's working at a button factory and you're just pushing a button all fucking day long, every day in
Yep.
out, right? You know, it's up to you it's personal growth, it's professional growth,
Yeah.
right? Continue with this.
Yeah.
It's to your advantage.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
I feel bad. We're still learning programs, right? Like how much more 5 years ago, did you even know what the fuck Ceros was?
No way.
Right? And I mean, look at some of this shit that we've been creating out of that in
Yeah.
the past 12 months.
Exactly.
Let alone the e-learning software.
Yeah.
Right? And again, it's great because you're evolving, you know, personally, the business evolves professionally from this as well as you. So
Yeah. It's funny because today I had to do an audiogram.
right.
And it was just like I forgot.
Forgot?
I
Yeah,
forgot what
you're right.
program I built today.
yeah.
So I sent it to Mitch and I was like, what does this look like? He says, well, I think it's Premiere Pro. I'm like, oh, that's the one. so just like pieces kind of fell back into my brain and I ended up doing it. It was just like,
So did you
I
actually do it
wandered
in
into your
Premiere?
office and it was like, I wandered in your office and I was like, what was the name of that website?
the
You remember?
audiogram, yeah. Yeah.
So that was another part of the puzzle
But it's
that was
funny,
solved.
right?
Yes.
It's true. You're learning how to do this kind of. It's just
And relearning sometimes. It's been, in all fairness, it's been like
I know we
well over
haven't
a
had
year.
many.
We
Asks
don't do
for
that
it, right?
anymore. Yeah,
Why did
exactly.
they ask for an audiogram, by the way?
I don't know.
It's like a podcast or
It
something.
was it was a podcast.
Oh,
That's what
okay,
it was.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, again, you're right. It's it keeps you fresh.
It does, and it was great because and it's very rewarding because
Yeah.
I finished it, saved it up, and I'm like, listen to it, make sure it worked. And I was like, okay,
That's
I got
pretty
it.
fucking good, right? Ching.
Yeah.
Now I won't touch that for another 12 months.
I know. I'll see if I'll remember it again. But yeah, it is very rewarding to do that kind of stuff, and I like the fact that we were constantly learning because it
Right.
kind of it doesn't end here. Like when you go home,
know,
if
right?
there's something that well, how's this going to work, kind of thing. It helps you.
It does. It helps
Problem
you.
solve,
You
and-
get that whole mindset of
Yes.
you're not scared to learn something. You
Right.
go home and if there's something broken,
Yes.
you're like, oh, fuck,
You're like,
I'm just
oh.
going to call a professional. No, first
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can't fix it myself.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's just you build up this
That's
this
right.
whole I don't know, repertoire. Is that the right word? Where you're going to try to get shit done for yourself.
It's just it's what you do during the day.
Yep.
And you can translate that at night or on the weekends or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's the beauty of this. I think that's the really good part.
I hear you.
Of what we do.
Of what we do. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, but you're right. Sometimes it would be nice to, just press a button all day.
Pause, bleepo.
But then
Pause.
we would get bored as shit.
I couldn't
with
do
that.
it.
I know. It'd be
Again,
terrible.
on a whole, on that Christmas break, it was like a full 7 days. After
Yeah.
the first two, I was
You're
getting
like antsy.
squirrely.
I
I'm
know.
like, okay, what can I do? What can I do? I got to do something. I can only watch so much Adventure Time with the kids, right?
That's true. That's true.
Okay, number 6. Okay, the good
Yeah.
about being a graphic designer.
Yeah.
There's steady demand for work. Okay, no matter what. And again, the need for what we do never goes away.
Nope.
You know, it doesn't matter the industry, the time, the space. You know, it doesn't matter if it's a recession looming or not. There's always a steady demand for work. Okay.
Yep.
The bad. Many jobs are being outsourced to cheaper people, cheaper services. Fucking AI is trying to nip at us, right? So that's the bad about this whole part, right?
Yep.
But the ugly is our jobs aren't going anywhere. We just have to learn how to adapt to this constantly fast-paced world that we're living in,
Right.
right? Like, again, we have to learn how to adapt to using cheaper services. We have to learn how to adapt to use AI,
Yes.
right? This shit, I mean, I've had to reinvent Z Factor, like, I think 5 times in the past 25 years, right? From just being a print company to then going to a media company to then going to a web company to get social. And I mean, it's constant. And then all of a sudden we got offshore. That was a whole thing that came out of nowhere when we were in business.
Yeah.
A lot of places couldn't handle it. And we figured out how to make that work. And again, it's constantly evolving,
Yeah.
right? But the work, there's always been a need for what it is that we do. So, you know, as long as we're evolving with it, that's the ugly truth,
Yeah.
right? We've made it work and anybody can make it work in this space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's absolutely true. Jeez.
I know, right?
It doesn't really sound that ugly, but
Well,
if you roll with the punches, I mean, you got it. You got it well in hand here.
Sean, I needed something a little bit more energetic there from you. Other than just,
I know.
Okay, you're right.
I'm too agreeable.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. I think everybody Sean just knows because he's got a nice cushy little area.
I know. I'm doing well.
All right, number 7. Okay, the good thing about being a graphic designer. Great pay for what you do.
Oh, yes, here we go. Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, my God. Absolutely.
Well, and the reality is we get paid to draw every day.
Yes.
And just the fact that I could be making minimum wage and it's still pretty damn good. I could live on minimum wage, that is.
Yeah, well,
but
this is the thing.
almost any pay is good pay for doing what we're doing. But the reality is, more times than not, we are well paid for what we do.
That's true.
Okay?
Yep.
The bad part about this, we're probably never going to get rich doing what we do. So although we get paid well, we're not going to get paid that well. We're not going to be making $1.8 billion and be part of the triple comma club. Okay. The ugly truth, though, of this whole thing is that less than 10% of North Americans make more than $100,000 a year individually.
Wow.
Okay. So the reality is, if we love what we do, and we're passionate, you think of yourself as being rich in what you're doing in work and in reward, right? Maybe not monetarily, but the truth is, and the ugly truth is, if you want more money, you just got to work more and pick up a side gig, learn your skills after hours, do freelance. If money is what you're after, you can do it. And this job sets you up with all the skills necessary that you can do. Fuck, you can create a book, you can take side gigs, you can join on Fiverr. There's a million ways to make money in this space, right? But as a job per se, you're probably never going to see $250,000, $500,000, $1 million type of salary, right? Those are really far and few in that space, right?
You're not going to get that, really, I don't think.
No, not many people will, but
You
can try.
Some of the bigger, somebody like David Carson. He does all right.
So
right?
he does very all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
However, he is that celebrity status.
It's a different level.
It's a different level altogether, right? He's more of a celebrity designer. I bet you now more than ever, most of his net income is probably from art, not from graphic design. And it's probably been like that for quite a while.
Right.
Now, what was someone like that making when he was the art director at Ray Gun magazine?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he was making $500,000.
No,
back
he
then.
certainly wasn't.
So him then versus him now, very different story.
Right.
Talking to Aaron Draplin,
Yeah.
again, he didn't sound like he was rolling in money, but he did sound like
suddenly he was doing all right.
if he wanted to retire, he could at this point, right?
Exactly.
Granted, maybe some of the Michael Beirut's out there, a little different, but they're also different caliber partners in a giant firm like Pentagram, right? So there's a lot of variables, and if you really want to make money, then unfortunately you have to step out of that employee role and start figuring out how to be an owner and have more people. You have to figure out how to scale. Right. And that's the key. If you want more money, you've got to scale. If you're, you'd rather be, rich in life and love what you do, you can still make a really good living. You
do well.
Exactly.
Yep.
Absolutely. Right.
Yep.
So that's number 7.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay. Number 8. Okay. Good thing about being a graphic designer. Diverse opportunities. Okay. Graphic designers can work in a variety of industries, in a variety of positions, from advertising to magazine publishing to, you can be a graphic designer in, a software company, right? The opportunities are huge.
Yes.
And everybody needs what we do.
Yes.
Okay. Whether you're in-house or at an agency or as a freelancer. All right.
Yep.
The bad is when you are in those positions, you're often in a high pressure job. Right? Because you're so in demand of what you do. And if you're the graphic designer at a tech company, you're going to be getting all kinds of work from different directions.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So again, the high demand, high stress, there's going to be a lot of pressure, right? To meet their expectations of being that in-house designer. Okay.
Yeah.
The ugly truth, no matter which way you go in this space, okay, it's a fast-paced industry. Okay, I don't know many designers that work on a single job at a time. Right, and they have the opportunity. Who kind of like they do one job, they pass it and take another one at a nice calm pace. I mean, the ones who thrive in this space are the ones who can keep up with this pace. Right, we often work at the 11th hour. We're always getting stuff rushed, like it or not. I don't care if people are like, oh, they need to organize their scheduling a little more. There's too many other variables, right? That unfortunately we're usually near the end, right before production, right? And there's a lot of different parts that come to us, and we're the ones who are often putting it all together at the last minute. So that's the ugly truth about the space that we're in.
Yeah, this is true. And I always felt bad because we would do like those pull-up banners and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
And they were always late, and we were always pushing them off to the printer, and it's just like, that's really late.
And we're always apologizing. We're
I know. I was just...
we called them on Monday. We're like, listen, just to give you a heads up, I'm really sorry. But come Wednesday, you're going to be getting a file that we're going to need Thursday.
Exactly.
Just so you know. So schedule it in. And I mean, that's how we try to accommodate as best as possible. But again, because we know that we're getting pushed to the limit.
That's right.
And as will they.
Yeah.
So
exactly. But that's really the ugly part of that is like, you're right. We're kind of at the bottom. We're at the end point of when everything is ready to get pushed out. So
absolutely.
Obviously there's going to be a bottleneck there.
Absolutely.
So that's just part of the gig. But I mean, I think we're kind of a little bit like sharks, right? We need to keep moving. We need to.
That's it, man.
I kind of sometimes that pressure.
That's good. A graphic shark. I like that.
Sometimes it's that pressure is
it's a good thing.
Is what motivates you, right?
I couldn't. If it's too slow, dude, I couldn't do this.
I know. Like
I like it.
And that's the thing is if you got a job that you've got all week to work on.
Oh boy! What?
It's just
what
like
is that?
Okay. What's on my phone?
Yeah, right. What's on my phone? Learn a TikTok dance.
But yeah, sometimes like, oh God, I need this today. Can you do it? And it's like, yes, okay. You know what I mean? And then it's just like the brain gets fired up.
I do like
flying.
that, right?
Yeah.
Starting the steam engine all over again.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And then then it's gold.
Then it's balls to the wall. All right, number 9. Okay, good things about being a graphic designer. It's easy on the body. I'm just saying, we go for walks at lunchtime. I see these poor guys. It's wintertime. It's -10, -15, wind blowing. It's -20. These poor construction guys are out there. They're no matter what, like they're out there. And I mean, I give them credit.
Yeah.
But it's easy. We work in great environments. It's cushy. It's warm.
Yep.
We're often fed. Like it's pretty easy, right? It's minimal physical labor. Right?
Yes.
The bad is that unfortunately, because of this, we sit our asses at the front of a fucking computer all day long. Our eyes are bugging out.
Yep.
Our bodies start kind of like going into hibernation mode and sedentary state. We put on weight in places we don't know. So for some reason, after sitting all day, we're sore. Like, it's just like, well, I haven't done anything. So
how can I be sore?
It's so true.
Oh my God.
Oh shit. So the ugly truth to being the graphic designer in this state is if you don't take care of yourself, you will have health problems.
Yes.
Even though we're cushy, we're indoors, we're sitting on our ass.
Yes.
The reality is, sitting is the new smoking.
Is the new smoking apparently.
Right?
Yes.
So you need to get a standing desk, switch up your legs, take breaks, walk around. If you're not going to be moving around as much, you're going to have to watch your diet.
Yep.
You are going to have to take a little bit of an extra step to consciously try to take care of yourself.
Yes. I've seen at Communitech where my wife works, they have the treadmill desk. Yeah, I got one of those there. Yeah.
Who was that? Who had that?
I don't know. It's
It's
just one of those random things where if it's open, you can get up there and walk
funny?
while you're working.
We have a customer, and when we do Zoom calls, she has one of those.
No.
And so I'm talking to her, and I see this. So anyway, she's bobbing. She's bobbing. And you try to look past it, but that constant bobbing, like she's floating in the water. I mean, she doesn't breathe heavy or anything, but it's the up and down motion. It's pretty funny.
That's hilarious.
I'm not gonna lie. Oh shit.
That would be weird. Okay, doing that in a meeting. I get it. You're,
Yeah.
you're saving time, but it's just weird.
Just keep on bobbing. I'm bobbing. I'm bobbing.
I'm
bobbing.
bobbing.
All right, number 10. Good things about being a graphic designer.
Yeah.
You get to problem solve on a daily basis. Okay.
Love
And this is one of my favorite parts of the job.
Yeah.
Somebody comes to you, they have a problem, whether it's something as simple as, we need a visual to represent this, or whether it's a bigger business problem, right? Yeah. I love problem solving. And, it's gotten to the point where it's like, I ask them business information. I ask them about their profits, it's great. Like it's huge.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's my favorite part about being a graphic designer, right? That the problem solving goes past just the visual part if you wanted to.
Yeah.
The bad part about this is that then clients count on you to solve problems.
Right.
Okay. And that was, we had this, 2 weeks ago, we had a customer who needed graphics for a video, and they needed us to do all the illustrations for a video.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And it took me 2, maybe 3 times to understand the storyboard because it just wasn't clicking. And they had this look of fear on their face, like, holy shit, if he's not getting it,
then we're
how's
deep.
other people going to get this?
Yes.
And I mean, the reality was I was just trying to process.
Yeah.
Right. But it wasn't coming because it was they made it so complicated, and it was
Right.
like we had to simplify it.
Right.
Right. But the reality is they were counting on us. So that's the bad part about this, because then once you start being the problem solver, they will count on you to solve these kind of problems.
Exactly.
And the ugly truth is, if you can't handle solving these problems, then you got to stop being a designer and you got to back up and be a graphic artist.
Yes.
Okay. If you are not prepared, to be in the hot seat, to try to help solve visual problems, graphic problems, explaining, complex processes and such, right? Through visuals. If you aren't prepared to do that, and if you're not good at that and you can't excel at that, then you got to face a reality and stop, promoting yourself as a graphic designer.
Right.
And you have to basically be like, you know what? I'm a graphic artist.
Yes.
I can help you visually. I can make you help look things. I'm not here to solve your problems. I'm just here to pretty things up.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no shame in that.
Yeah.
There is no shame in that. If that's all you want to do, give me a final piece of work and I'll make it look great. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Good. Do it.
Yeah.
Right. But as a graphic designer, just the nature of being a designer is you want to solve that end user's problem.
Yes.
You want to make their lives better.
Right.
Right. So that's a tricky part about this
and
space.
that was good. And that was an interesting point because that was the story that was being told. It was very confusing on their end. It was very high up, and a lot of people would understand that, right? But you kind of took that and said, look, you want to make this simple.
Yeah.
You don't want to
you're going about it.
Yeah. You don't want to tell them everything right off the bat.
Right. You don't want them to come to a conclusion.
Exactly.
You want them to pick up the phone and call.
That's it. It's like, this intrigues me. I'm still not understand. I don't understand exactly what it is, but I get what's going on, and it's very cool. I'm going to look into this instead of this does X, Y, Z, and that's it. Okay, well,
so
boring.
true.
It doesn't appeal to me. So next, right?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
so
Like,
true.
you don't want to give
So
it all
true.
away. This is not porn.
Wow, I didn't see that one coming.
That was we're gonna get an X rating on this
FYI,
video.
did not
podcast.
ever do that. Did not ever had nothing to do with porn. Can I tell you something? Of course, I got a story.
Oh, of course, now it comes out.
So
It's Dirk Diggler over here.
our second or third year in business. Okay, we're young, right? We were young dudes. Second, third year in business. So like I don't know, whatever, in 20s, right?
Yep.
And had a meeting with somebody who needed some graphic work. I was like, yeah, come to the office, whatever, right? And we'll meet. And this is when we were above the oil shop.
Yes.
Oil lube shop, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was. That's how I know it was early on, right?
Yeah.
Well, the dude, I guess, was a porn producer.
Oh God.
And he needed help with sleeves, video sleeves, and advertising material. And so we're new in the space, and we're young, and we're young vivacious dudes who were actively out, partying girls.
Yeah.
And I swear we were like kids. We couldn't contain ourselves. We were like, yeah.
We'll do
cool.
it. We'll
This is
do it.
weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But it was just because we had no idea. We're like, and I mean, in hindsight, okay, we did not get the work, right? And
Yeah.
I'm glad
Oh.
we didn't. But it's like, you got this opportunity and you're just wrong. We weren't mature enough to even have that meeting, but it was the funniest meeting. It kind of felt like Animal or something, you know? Yeah. Oh, it was such a surreal experience.
Oh my God.
I guess you could see it, in our faces that we were not mature enough to handle
these
it.
guys are a couple of perverts.
Yeah. Well, we were just young and hormonal.
Yes, this is true. What do you expect? Yeah, young guys.
How do you
Would've done
even
the same.
look for that? You
Yeah,
know?
right.
Graphic designer wanted to work in a mature.
Yeah, I guess.
Like I don't even know what that would look like. Canva.
Canva. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Oh,
Number 11. Okay.
Wow.
Good thing
Yeah.
about being a graphic designer.
all right.
You can work from multiple environments. You can work from your home,
Yes.
from an office,
Right.
from a coffee shop. You can work in a van down by the river.
Matt Foley.
Okay, they paint this awesome idyllic thing, idyllic. You can. I spent many time working in coffee shops.
Yeah.
Man, even still, right? The cooler the environment, sometimes the cooler the work,
Yes.
right? Because it's all part of the experience.
Yes.
Okay. The bad part, okay, is that you're gonna need an internet connection now, almost anywhere, because every single fucking thing that we do. Needs an internet connection,
Yep.
which sucks, right?
Yeah, it does.
And that's the ugly truth.
Yes.
Okay. The ugly truth is, unfortunately, it'd be great to go out into the middle of a park or in the middle of a desert or in the back of a van down by a river or in the middle of somewhere in a road trip. But the reality is, you need internet connection, and unless you're willing to fork over for Elon Musk's satellite system that's going to follow you anywhere, which he does advertise that it's for, you can put it in a mobile home.
Yeah.
That's apparently a thing. But the reality is, now our space, you can't just take it with you. It's a lot harder to decide, I'm going to go and create a logo out today out in the park free of the internet.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's not there anymore.
No, that's true.
Is it?
Unless you want to go old school, like really old school.
Sketchpad early up, but
that kind of
I've
thing.
tried that,
Yeah.
and I can only handle that for an hour.
Exactly.
And then you end up just kind of stumped.
Yeah.
Okay, so these people on when they're just sketching all these logos and stuff, and they only show you the sketching of the logos on Instagram, dude. Where do you think the inspiration is coming from? They're not just like closing their eyes and they're like, from my vast memory of 1,000+ years. They're not fucking real life Chat GPT, okay? With all this history and a billion, they're gonna keep, just unfortunately, they're gonna they're gonna hit a wall.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, sketchbooking it's gonna come to a stop, right? You can only take that so far.
Well,
so
9 times out of 10, those people are they've probably done all 90% of the work up front.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, hey, this is my process condensed,
Yes.
and I'm just going to draw it out. And it's like,
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
Yeah, because you need access to
Absolutely.
the internet, or I guess if you're a nice logo book or something.
Yeah, you could take that
maybe.
with you.
Yeah. But you're right. I think we're so used to having the computer for the tool. That for the processes that we do. With these logos.
Absolutely.
But I mean, having said that, sometimes it is fun to just kind of sketch out an idea.
I love sketching out.
You
I
know what I
do.
mean?
I do find, unfortunately, I'm now so reliant on going back, whether it's for stock photography,
Yes.
whether it's old resources. I've gone through most of my books.
Yes.
I need to find it. So now, unfortunately, that's my go-to place. And maybe I suck. Maybe I'm a bad example.
No.
but
I think, but again, time is always an option here, or not an
true.
option
Yep,
sometimes.
yep, you're right.
Right? You got to. What that last week or that last logo we did, we had a week to work on it.
I know, right?
You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like that's kind of hard to get from the concept to the final. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's pretty difficult. So. Anyway, yeah, it's a noble thing, and it would
Sounds
be nice
good.
it
Sounds very
sounds
romantic,
Great. It
you know?
does.
Yep,
it
yep,
does.
yep,
It sounds like the ideal kind of way to do things, but not necessarily a good practical application, right?
All right, number 12. Okay, the good thing about being a graphic designer, it's relatively easy to get started. Okay, you don't have to go to college and get a degree for this. You don't have to spend 3 years getting a degree, getting thousands and thousands of it. You really don't. The bad is it takes a long time to get good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is the bad. By the time you start learning design principles, you start learning aspects of different aspects of space and hierarchy and the nuances and all the softwares. Dude, there's a big experience component to all this.
Yes.
So the ugly truth that people have to accept if they're getting into this space is you have to put the time in.
Yeah.
Okay, you absolutely have to. You don't have to go to school, and you could argue, does school even accelerate that or not? One can argue both ways on this one.
Yeah.
But the reality is you got to put in the time.
Yes.
Absolutely. No way to go around this.
Nope, you can't. There's no shortcut or magic cream to make you a better designer.
Time equals experience, and experience is key in
Yes.
this space.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. But again, what's that old adage? It's not the destination; it's the journey that gets you there. Right?
Absolutely, it is.
It's been fun. And I'm not done.
Yeah, absolutely.
By any stretch, but
Yeah.
it's been a cool road since that we've traveled down. Right?
Absolutely,
yeah,
it has.
So
that's number 12.
yes,
Number 13. There's always appreciation for your work and what you do. Okay, so again, when somebody's like, "Oh, you're a graphic designer. Wow, that's really cool. Oh, this," and all of a sudden you get all this praise. Okay, so there's always an appreciation and admiration for what you do. The bad part is people think it's an easy job and that anybody can do it. Oh, yeah, that Sean guy. Well, he just draws pictures all day. He's a graphic person or whatever, right? Anybody can do it. The ugly truth of this is, unfortunately, software like Canva and Adobe Express just do nothing more than defend this in people's minds.
Yes.
Because it's like, hey, you know what? I need something quick here. Just go on that Canva place and create something. And sure, you can create something that looks decent, completely off brand. It's on target. There's no problem. It's just aesthetically pleasing. Maybe. So, which is why, unfortunately, this shit kind of gives what we do. People think it's easy.
yes,
And the reality is it's not.
no,
Right?
It is not.
What is that? Simplicity is often complicated.
Ah, yes, that's right.
Right, to get to that point,
This is true.
It takes a lot to make something simple, look simple, be simple.
Yeah, you could jam as much shit as possible into a logo.
Yep.
Right? And you've seen this before.
Yeah, we have.
Yes. Yeah, all those co-ops down south. Holy boy, do they throw a lot of
on
stuff
there, that's for sure.
But doing something simple,
Yep.
clean, and classic.
Yep.
That's hard.
Iconic.
That
That's
is
gonna
hard to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
the CN logo.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, but that's hard.
And it's been around for like 60 years.
It's been around
70
forever.
Exactly, right? But you're right. Hard as
That's
fuck.
hard.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, this is not an
It's
easy
not
job.
easy, right? So unfortunately, that's something that we're dealing with. People think it's good. They like what we do, but they don't think it's very hard.
But they think you're so lucky.
Number 14. The good thing about being a graphic designer, you work on the coolest projects. You get to work on brands for companies. You get to work on package design. You get to work graphics for vehicles. You wrap vehicles, Sometimes, you do websites. I mean, it's an endless list of really cool projects that you get to work on.
Yeah.
Okay. The bad is you work on 20 of the coolest projects at the exact same time. They're great. It's cool. Don't get me wrong, but don't think you're working on one project at a time.
That's so true.
The ugly truth is you have to learn how to juggle projects, how to multitask, right? How to get like more shit and time management, right?
Time management is huge.
The ugly truth, because you never get one project at a time to work on.
Nope.
Right? So I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
That's the ugly truth.
Yeah, and then there's oh my God, I need changes to this right away. Can you get this done?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, let's just throw that into the pile. Yeah, why not? Yeah, you're right. You're often juggling a lot of balls. for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Yes.
That's all right. You become a good juggler.
Yeah, this is true.
Yep,
and
yep.
and again, see that's the beauty of this. It's like I used to see that as a liability back in the old days, but now it's kind of a challenge.
It is.
Time management is kind of sexy.
It is. It absolutely
You know what I mean? It's just
is.
like,
Oh,
okay,
dude.
all right, I've got this amount of time for this. I'm going to put this in there.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
gonna-
Fit
you know what I
this,
mean?
get
Yeah.
this, and you hand it in a minute before the presentation's due.
Exactly. And you're
Yep.
like you were saying with that website, you get up 5 o'clock in the morning. I know exactly how much time I have. I got the presentation at 11, and you skid
pull in.
right in there, right in there.
You're literally running right in, and as they close the door, you throw the presentation through. It's so
That's
true.
exactly it. Yes, that's it. But that's exciting though,
It is.
right?
Fucking yes, it
I
is.
know.
It's afterwards, you're like, whoa,
You're just like,
did you just see that?
Damn.
I fucking did that.
Killed it. Well, let's get to the other 19 things that I got to do today.
Okay.
All right.
Number 15. You get to work with exciting companies and help them develop their cool, exciting material. Okay, you get to work with skateboard companies, tech companies, bike companies.
Yep.
You have an interest. You can find a company to work for that within that interest. It's fucking great.
Yes.
Okay, like you see the guys over at Lincoln. They work with Monster. They work with fucking Hot Wheels.
Yes.
Like it's just it never stops.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you have that. The bad is for every one of those really cool companies, you're working with 20 unexciting companies. You're working with the local mom and pop shops, the cleaning shops, some guy who's starting up a business and accounting. This is the not so exciting stuff.
Yeah, that's not the glamorous part for sure.
So the ugly truth,
Yes.
all right,
Okay.
is that you have to kiss many frogs for every
Yes.
prince in this space.
Nice
right?
analogy, yes.
You have to cut your teeth.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it. I mean, oftentimes new designers think that they're going to get into this space and get to create these really awesome, exciting things. But the reality is, dude, at the beginning, you're just churning shit out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, for experience, you're at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
You're production artist often.
Right.
You know, and you're just doing the stuff at the very bottom.
Yeah.
It's for every one really exciting customer that we would have to come through this place, we over the years we've had to get a lot of really unexciting ones.
This is true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
it is kind of an unfortunate reality, but I mean, right? You do kiss a lot of frogs before you get to that prince,
The prince, right?
the princess, or
The princess,
I guess
or-
for yeah, but
Yeah.
but again, sometimes there's beauty in the weird clients
And
too.
that's exactly it,
Right?
right?
Yeah.
The challenge is to find that gem in all the shit, right?
Yes,
Find that
yes.
needle in the haystack. Try to find it. It doesn't matter how shitty that customer. Some of the really coolest shit that we came up with was in our first 5, 6, 7 years business, and it was dealing with the most boring companies, injection molding
Yes,
companies,
yes.
powder coating companies,
Yeah.
like filament companies. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous shit,
Yeah.
but it really forced us to try to have fun with it.
Right.
And we were thinking up stuff, and for that space,
Yeah.
it was like groundbreaking.
Yes.
And people were just like, wow.
What the hell is that?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So even though it's a lot of shit that
Yeah.
you're going to have to get through at the beginning,
Yeah.
find the good in it
Yeah.
and enjoy that
Yeah.
stuff, right? That's what we're here for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect meeting of a great opportunity and your knowledge and skill set and your creative abilities.
Right.
You could bring something exciting to a space that's all the same. I'm guessing
Exactly.
it's all trifold brochures
It was
all
pretty
the
boring
time,
shit.
right?
Oh, it was so fun to always
Yeah.
try to create.
Just
And
do
you know,
something, yeah.
and it was always the same thing. We would always show 3 concepts.
Mm-hmm.
We would always do a boring one, like a straight one, and we'd always do a wild card.
Fucked up, yeah.
And that was the one that we'd have fun with.
Yeah.
So it's the way we recharged ourselves.
Yeah.
And often that was the one that
the
got
one they went with.
chosen.
Yes.
So again, I highly recommend this. Show
Yeah.
3 concepts. One kind of fulfills what you want.
Yes.
Gets your creative outlet,
Yes.
whatever, right? And if they go with that, damn, it
Then
works so
you're
well.
you're just like you're on top of the
Absolutely,
world.
right?
But even if they go with your second one, you're like, yeah, okay,
Yeah, you're right,
That
exactly,
was
right?
good. I get that because it's almost a marriage between the two, right? Like
Absolutely.
it's the porridge that Goldilocks liked, right? But yeah, I mean, there's always beauty in the weirdest
In the
things.
weirdest of places.
Yeah. So
Cool. Number 16.
Yes.
Okay, we're almost done, everybody. We've only got 20. We're down to the last 4. Number 16. The good about being a graphic designer. It's not a job. It's a lifestyle when you love what you do.
This is true.
Okay. And again, it sounds so cheesy, so fucking true, because it's just part of you. You see it, you live it, you're looking for inspiration, you find it in the weirdest of places.
Yep.
You know, once it's in you, you can't turn that shit off.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But that's the bad part. It can be hard to turn it off for some people. And for some people, it can be so hard, it leads to burnout.
Yes.
Right?
This is true.
So again, the ugly truth of this is you absolutely need to learn work-life balance.
Yep.
You need to be able... Again, I'm all in. I always have been. And, you know, although maybe creatively or on computer, I burnt out, you know, my creative ambitions, my thought, it's still constantly
Still there.
going.
Yep.
Because again, and I find it in everything. I find inspiration from the shows I watch, to the odd commercial, to, you know, playing with the kids, to going to Toys R Us and looking in the toy aisles, right? I'm finding it everywhere, right? But I can't turn it off.
Yeah.
Because it has become who I am.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, while one part of me might burn out, other parts might not.
Yes.
But, you know, I've been doing this so long, I've come to accept it. And it's just who I am.
Yep.
Okay. Somebody at a young state might translate that as constantly working.
Yes.
Right. Because they love what they do and they're constantly online. They're pulling this in. They're constantly, they could translate this whole idea, you know, of it's a lifestyle into physically being hands-on all the time.
Yeah.
And that will lead to burnout.
Yes.
Right. It'll just fry out their mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you really have to learn this work-life balance.
You totally do. And sometimes, too, like I find that when you switch to life, work creeps in. You
Well,
know,
yeah.
in the oddest kind of way, but it's like a nice way. It's like a soft knock at the door. Like, hey, this thing that we were working on, maybe you could try this.
This, and
you're like, oh, yes, that's
Right?
great. Now I can go back to my life because this is happening.
Yeah.
You know,
I kind of find the two complement each other, right?
They
Because
do.
then it's
They
like
really
I'm, you
do.
know, I'm with my kids, and all of a
Yes.
sudden something cool from work
And you're
creeps
like,
in, and
yes.
I draw. Man, last night me and Rocco were you know, was doing bedtime stuff, and usually we'll watch like some YouTube shorts, right? But he was like, I want to like create something really cool, really crazy picture. Never showed him Midjourney. So on my phone, I pulled up Midjourney.
Oh.
Man, he was amazed. He
over
was
it.
pulling stuff like, you know, a guardian of the universe who's an animal. And all of a sudden she's like, oh, wow.
Holy
Because it was
crap.
cool. I was able to take what I learned, you know, from here
from
in the
that.
day and just wow him
Yes.
with this, right?
And for the young mind, that would blow
Completely.
his
He was
head
like,
off.
holy
Yeah.
crap.
Like, wow, this
just
is
by my
good.
words,
Yes,
I can do this. So it is cool. It is cool, right?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a cool
Nice,
experience.
yeah.
All right, number 17.
Yes.
Okay. A good thing about being a graphic designer, seeing your work live in the real world.
Oh,
Dude, I remember sometimes it's like I'd walk into Home Depot and I was like, holy shit, I did that. You know, and I tell my kids like, yeah, Dad, you
sure.
told me already. You know, but it's, you know, or when I was young and single on a date and it's just like, oh, hey, I did that,
I
right?
did that.
How cool is that? Wow. And again, I genuinely was like, wow. But you see packaging on the shelves,
Yeah.
you randomly see your ad pop up on Facebook if you're, you know, like, it's really fucking cool
Yes.
to see your work live.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
The bad, everybody's a fucking critic. So be prepared for the whole fucking world to judge, okay? That's the ugly truth.
Yes.
And that's, you just got it, because again, look at that shit that happened with the Calendly logo,
Yes.
right? Look at the
Oh.
fucking Kia
The
logo
Kia,
that we
the controversy,
love, and
yeah.
everybody's like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
Kia brand. Like,
Is
again,
the University of California too, that one?
right, the UNC,
Oh my
like,
God.
again, it's
Yeah.
like one person's, you know, creative genius is somebody else's
Yeah.
piss pots.
Worst
Where they're
nightmare.
just gonna
Yeah.
like, let's just piss all over this because I can't do it. I'm not good enough, but I sure have a mouth and can critique that fucking thing. Fuck.
Oh yeah, you do have to have a bit of a thick skin if you're
right?
doing something like that, right? Yeah, that's pretty. That's ugly.
Those critics are just like assholes. Everybody's got one. And they feel they have to push for it.
True.
Fuck. So yeah, it's number
man.
17.
Oh.
Number 18.
Oh.
Okay, you can have the coolest fucking work environment.
Oh.
Generally, graphic design studios are, energetic, cool, fun. I got skateboards, we got superheroes,
Yep.
music. Like, again, it's trying to get creativity out, and it's not like your normal work environment.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the good.
Yep.
The bad, unfortunately, is the cooler the place, often it leads to the longer hours you spend at that place. There's a reason why Google makes it look so great. And,
Yes.
all these companies really pimp their place because they don't want you to fucking leave.
That's right.
Okay. And that's,
Bring your
that's
pets.
the bad. Yeah.
You know,
right.
yeah.
So that's the ugly truth on this one. There's
that is-
often a catch. Not
Yes.
always.
Yeah.
Because again, we're pretty chill here.
Yep.
We're pretty flexible, and this is definitely as creative as I can. Maybe we'll make it more creative one day. But the reality is, we keep it pretty low. But
Yeah.
I talk to so many colleagues in this space, and they're constantly. Well, the other agency we worked with.
Yeah.
Remember, they were like, 12-hour days. This is a common at this agency.
Yeah, and yes, and we were like, remember that? We were sitting there going, you guys spend more time fucking talking
Yes.
than you do working.
Yeah.
Like, well, this is why. Like, get shit done. This is the best
Yeah, right.
mantra
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
can have. It's like, no, we don't. There's mistakes that happen in those
Absolutely
periods.
there is.
That
Absolutely.
yeah, like it's just not right. But yeah. Geez.
Right? Yeah. So there's often a catch.
Yeah.
So before you accept that next job, before you look into that really cool studio, find out a bit more about the work culture.
Yes.
Check them out online. See what the reviews are on Glassdoor.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see what really happens. The cooler the environment, often there's a catch to that.
Yeah.
All right.
And I don't know how people do it. It's like, what's his name? Tinker Hatfield? Is that the guy?
Yeah.
His studio was like, he's got musical instruments in there. And it's like, I would get
amazing,
nothing
right?
done.
I know.
It's like, dude, I would have to work in a box because that.
Dude, I read something this morning that was, and it was, it was a tech guy, right? And it was telling all about,
Oh.
now that people are going back to their work environments,
Yeah.
and the reality and this whole quiet quitting and the
Yep.
reality of how these people actually work, and they're like, they give us all the flexibility. So this is what our day usually looks like. We roll in around 9:15, 9:30. We try to look busy, have some coffee, catch up on the latest news.
Yeah.
Around 10 o'clock, we prepare for our half-an-hour bathroom break, right? Just before our 1-hour lunch, and then, we spend about 45 minutes in the afternoon playing ping pong, video games with some of that people. So he equated his whole 8-hour day possibly getting between 2 and 3 hours worth of work actually done.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right? That's pretty bad.
Wow.
I know.
That is messed
It was
up.
interesting, but I mean, duh. Are you
Yeah.
surprised?
Yeah, this is the thing.
They make the work office look like an amusement park.
Yes.
What do you think's going to happen?
What do you think is going to happen? Exactly.
All right, two more. Hang tight. Number 19. Good thing about being a graphic designer, you can be whoever you want to be. You can express yourself any way you want to, the way you dress, the way you hair,
Right.
anything. That's the cool thing, because creatives often struggle, and they often feel like they have to conform to the rest of the world. But the reality is, I mean, most of the creatives I know, they're totally outgoing on the outside. Some of them tatted, piercings, hair is crazy. There's so much outward expression going on of who they are,
Yeah.
right? And that's really, really, really fucking cool, because you don't get that often, right?
Nope.
So that's the nice thing about this space, and customers are cool with that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The bad is, unfortunately, you're also going to have to run into those stereotypical fucking designers who think they're above everybody else and will look down on you for dressing that way and being a little louder and being a little bit more verbose while they, sip their little lattes and, and look at you through their fucking big black fucking framed glasses, adjusting their fucking turtlenecks all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Fixing their man buns.
their man buns. Like, unfortunately, the ugly truth is these people exist in this space.
Yes.
And, they often are in it for themselves. They're in it for their own egos. I remember hiring, more than one in the past, but this one in particular actually had, on her first day of work, she was like, okay, so I just want to know, are we the kind of agency that does what the customer wants, or do we give them what we want? And I was like, wow, you're a fucking piece of work.
Oh, boy.
Where did this come from? Because again, she was a quirky, outwardly one.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, being a designer is about the end user.
Yes.
It's about solving problems for the end user, your customer. That's what being a designer is.
Yeah.
So these horrible, horrible people who are so fucking pretentious,
Yes.
you know, and snobby and higher up and believe that their impression of design is much different than yours.
Yes.
Like, dude, we can all do so much better without them.
Yeah.
So don't let those people bring you down
That's right.
at all.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? It's fun when you get to dress this way,
Yeah.
act this way, be this way. Customers appreciate
Yes,
this.
totally.
Right? So don't let these other people and their impressions about what they feel design should be like make you feel inferior in any way, shape, or form.
Exactly. Wear what you want. Be who you want to be. It's as long as you're serving the end user. That's all we ask
customer's
for.
happy,
Yeah, if your
that's
customer's
all
happy,
that
then
matters,
yeah,
right?
It doesn't matter whether you have a big beard and a bald head and
Right?
a belly or something.
Absolutely not. If they're happy and you're providing the results,
Exactly.
that's all that matters.
That's right.
I remember, you early on, even before starting this business, I read this about another agency owner in town, and I always remembered. And he said that he didn't want customers being like, I know, oh, look, that's the guy, that's my agency, the owner of, the agency that works for us.
Yeah.
He cost me this much money every year. He wanted to be known as, oh, look, that's my agency, the owner of the agency who deals with us. He makes me
money.
Money every year.
Yes.
And that's the difference.
That's what you want.
We're not in this for ourselves.
No.
We need to be in this for them.
Yes.
That's what keeps us around.
You
so
wouldn't
long.
last very long if you were in this just for yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Like if you were imposing what you thought is the way that
Yep.
this is the trend for 2003 and it is non-negotiable.
Right. Unfortunately,
What
only
client-
Paul Rand can do that.
Yeah, wow. But he was the trend guy, right? He was just
Nope.
what he did was good. So I mean,
Yeah,
you
it was
can't
very
fault
classic,
it.
right?
Yeah, and you're going to say to Steve Jobs, "Nope, this is what you get."
Yeah.
Tough shit. Okay, well, but still, I mean, that's the thing is you can't do that. It's flexibility.
Absolutely,
this
right?
is what
Again, it's
we're
collaboration
Yeah.
with your customers. They're looking to you for help.
Yes.
You have to guide them.
Right.
Okay, but the reality is, again, it's customers. They're paying for us.
That's right.
If they stop paying us, guess what? We're out of a fucking job.
exactly.
Duh.
But you got your principles.
Oh yeah, that's right. Your ego strokes.
Yeah, that's right. I did it my way.
Yeah.
It was wrong, but
So now I'm working at Starbucks.
and they're telling me what to do. And you know the best part about number 19 is we don't get to wear ties and
Oh my
shirts
God, dude.
and golf
It's
shirts.
like the worst uniform. Right? That's like right up there with, a cop and,
Yeah.
and a fireman
Yeah.
and a suit.
Yes.
I couldn't. Oh, that just sounds so. Oh.
I worked as a marketing coordinator, and I had to couldn't wear jeans, and you had to wear a collared shirt.
Oh,
And it's
my
just like,
God.
it just felt like
You wouldn't have that beautiful beard if you worked there, would you?
no, and that's
See?
exactly it. That's the
See?
thing. They would look at that and say,
Can you
no.
trim that up to just something a little bit more
Normal
hipster-like?
beards, please." Yeah. But yeah, we don't have to conform to that. Kind
Customers
of
love this. They
Yes.
look at us, they smile, and they're like,
Yes.
creatives.
Yes.
And they just love it.
How many times have we gone down to trade shows and things like that, and everybody's like, "These two guys,
Right?
there's the beards."
Yeah. They're like, you know what? We haven't met yet, but you guys got to be the creative agency. We got that in Montreal.
I know, yes,
Remember?
yes.
Out of the stranger. I know we haven't met yet, but,
But
you
you
have to
are-
be those guys.
Yes, we are. Oh, that's funny.
All right.
Thank God for that.
Thank God for that.
Wearing whatever we want.
All right. And last but not least,
Yes.
number 20. Good reason to be a graphic designer. You can be in charge of creating a company's corporate brand, and you could be their brand guardian, and you could be the go-to lead for every creative decision in a company. The bad is you're also in charge of their copywriting, their website design, their social media, their print production, their trade shows, the photography, fixing the fucking printer. No matter what the hell it is, you are that guy.
Yes.
And the ugly truth of this is yes, it's fucking common as hell.
Yes.
The smaller the company, the more fucking hats that you're going to wear. And that's a good thing,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yep.
I know some people on some of the threads that I read are so up in arms on this. And, like, well, you shouldn't be proofreading somebody else's work. You shouldn't be worrying about... dude, this is your fucking job.
Yes.
Own this thing. The more difficult you are,
Yes.
and the more you push away all the other shit that you should be doing,
Yeah.
okay, then, I mean, the shorter your tenure that company's going to be,
Yeah.
right? Be irreplaceable in that fucking company,
Yes.
right? Take that shit, you know, and again, if you get to the point where you're too busy, then speak the fuck up
Yeah.
and get someone to work underneath you.
Yes.
You know, you can only
Get
do so
help.
much, but again, once they start learning to count on you, and if they're happy with what you can do, okay, don't kill yourself over this.
no, it's not-
by no
yeah,
means.
yeah.
But I mean, again, own this position, okay? Like, look, the guys at Magnet Forensics, okay, our friend who's in charge of the brand, he said straight up,
Yeah.
they have a small team,
Yeah.
right? And they did it all. Well, they just fucking executed for $1.8 billion. I'm sure they had something to do with that. You know what I mean? And they
Yes.
probably had a nice bonus because of it, because they were a small integral part of that initial group that
Yes.
grew with the company. And they didn't grow with that company by turning away shit and being like, well, I'm in charge of design.
Yeah. That's
I'm
all
only
I
doing
do.
graphic design.
Yes.
You take whatever the fuck you can get your hands on
Yes.
and become irreplaceable in that company.
Exactly.
Dude.
Yes.
Oh.
I know. It's crazy. Like that to me, just I can't even fathom that. Seeing a mistake.
And being like, well, it's not my responsibility.
Whether it was mine or whether it was somebody else's.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. It's like we are kind of like employees of our clients.
Yep.
Like they hired us. So
100%.
technically we work for them, right?
Technically.
So it doesn't matter. If it wrecks what they're putting out there,
Exactly.
that looks bad on us.
Absolutely.
Even if I didn't do it and you can hang the other guy who did it.
Right,
It was his fault.
It still looks bad.
It looks bad
I
on
know.
the whole company. And that's not right.
No, it's not right.
No.
Honestly. And again, instead
That
of
saddens
crying
me.
and creating about,
Yeah.
crying about this and being like, it's not my job, it's not my job. You know what? All you're doing is creating conflict where you don't need to.
Yes.
They just need to get their shit done.
Yeah.
Just like you should get your shit done.
That's right.
And if you have the attitude where you can help, open arms, give me whatever, I'll be part of this team
Yeah.
and I will help grow. If it is overwhelming, it's your fault if you don't speak up.
Yeah.
And then if you're overwhelmed and you speak up and then they don't do something, then complain.
Then it's got
Then complain.
Yes.
But don't fucking complain when all of a sudden you start hearing, well, I'm a graphic designer and they're expecting me to also proofread. Well, no fucking shit. Another set of eyes. They're shorthanded and they said, please look this over.
Yes.
And don't be one of these pretentious, stereotypical
Yeah,
designers who are like,
it's not my job.
It's not your job. I'm not going to do it.
I hate
dude,
that. I hate that phrase.
No, I hate
it's not
that.
my job.
It's not my job.
Fuck you.
Oh, dude.
Yes, it's not your job. I know, right? Oh God, I hate that. I hate that. No, it's about all of us.
Exactly,
And
right?
it's what about your coworker?
Your fucking
You
team?
want to pull
Exactly.
This is you're holding everybody up.
Yep,
To the
exactly,
same
dude.
to the same standards. Jeez, that is really sad. That is really sad.
And that shit happens, and I usually
That's
have to
ugly.
bite my tongue when I see those
Yeah.
threads, and I just
Yeah, I know.
have to move on.
I
'Cause
know.
I try to lay in and
Yep.
give them some advice, but
Yeah, some
man,
people
there's this weird kind of thing going on right now, and everybody feels so fucking entitled, and it's not good.
Yeah, that's
Whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever. Their
there's-
future will dictate what happens.
This is true, and there's a certain humility that comes with this job too, right? Like
Absolutely.
we're not curing cancer or anything like that, right?
Exactly.
But we are doing a very important job.
Absolutely. For the
Right?
companies that we
For the-
work for,
That's
and our
right.
clients that we work for, we're doing a very important
That's right. So you do the best that you possibly can, and that's not too much to ask.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All right, so there you go. There is
Whoa.
20 good bads
And
and
uglies.
uglies,
Yeah.
about being a graphic designer.
that was a roller coaster ride.
That was
dude.
kind of fun, right?
Yes.
Let's just try this too. Right?
I'm
More often,
happy
I
and I'm
just shock
sad.
you.
And it's like, oh yeah, it's really ugly sometimes.
I am going to put this whole list on our website. So if
Yes.
anybody ever wants to see this website, we're gonna finish writing this blog out. Put this and post this by the time we go live with this. But please, by all means, leave us comments on this. Tell us what we missed. Tell
Yeah.
us the parts you love about this, they hate about this.
Yeah.
I'm sure I always hear about the hate, but please drop us a line on this kind of stuff.
Let us know about your good, bads, and uglies.
Seriously,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That sounds wrong. Let us know about your good, bads, and uglies.
Yeah, don't show us any uglies.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna shut up.
Please, by all means, hit us up on Instagram. We have a fucking great community there. Everybody's participating.
Yeah.
Follow us on, whatever podcast you follow, and then also YouTube. We're on YouTube right now.
we're on YouTube.
And again, come see us on YouTube because it's usually a little bit of a show.
Yeah, you get to see Moss jogging.
Yeah. Oh no, bobbing.
Bobbing, yeah.
Bobbing.
What the clients do.
Bobbing.
Trust me, it's worth it.
And most importantly, go leave us a review, please, because again, this way we can get. You know what, dude? We had somebody from Ghana reach out this week. How fucking cool is
Holy
that,
shit.
dude? It's just you know how cool that is. I know.
That's awesome.
I know, right? Like I appreciate everybody. I
Wow.
appreciate what everybody reaches out to, and I don't know if they ever want me to say their names or not, so I refrain. But
Yeah.
I can always speak to the countries.
Yes.
And how cool is that? So,
great.
the better the reviews, the higher the rankings, and the easier people can find us.
Yeah,
So please,
yeah.
if you can spend 5 minutes, drop us a line, leave us a review on your favorite podcast channel, and that's it.
Yeah. We want to be huge in Iceland.
Yeah, we want to be huge in Iceland.
I guess. I don't know.
Hello.
Sounds cool, right?
But you know what? That's where design came from. So I have a feeling maybe they might not appreciate our banter as much.
Maybe not. Yeah, you're
Maybe
right.
that whole comment about the turtlenecks and black things, maybe we just pissed off Iceland.
Yeah, this
I'm
is
sorry,
true.
guys.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Iceland.
Sorry, Iceland.
We love
Sorry,
you. We
sorry.
love you.
We love you. We love you. All right. With that being said, guess that's it, buddy.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. Nicely done.
All right. It's fun.
Yeah.
My name's Massimo.
Yeah, my name is John.
Stay creative.
Stay angry.
Peace.